Kanye, speaking of wishing people good luck.
Your boy.
Why do you say that? You said that last podcast.
He's going through it. I'm going straight to the Gap store as soon as it opens.
I never said that. I never said that. That was Keezy.
I recorded it.
No.
I got the evidence just like this.
I'll check it out. I'll check out the clothes out of just curiosity. But I mean, I never. Anyway, so Kanye,
he's going through
obviously had breakdown from
that's a good way to
start in South Carolina. He says some very disparaging things about his wife Kim, including let me paraphrase, correct me if I'm wrong, that he said something to the effect of like that they were going to get an abortion and he forced him, or she made him have the baby, or them have have North, something along those lines. Just a lot of like insulting things, right? Okay, go ahead.
He has he's bipolar, right? So when you're bipolar, you go through dramatic highs and dramatic lows, right? So when you're not properly medicated, if you're under a lot of stress, if there's a lot of different influences on you, when you get those highs, you get into this crazy mania. And that's what we witnessed because everyone knows who Kanye West is. Everyone follows him on Twitter. That's where you get paranoid. You have delusions. It's bipolar is it's messed up. But one of the things that was interesting about what happened is like I feel like a lot of people knew that, and I saw a lot of people, instead of just like outrage or craziness, people showed concern because people know that he's bipolar, and they kind of a lot of people knew what was happening. That he was having this extreme paranoid high, and then eventually that's where it gets dangerous. Is when he gets low. That's where it gets that's where it gets scary. But like it was interesting to see people legitimately just concerned for him rather than outraged at what he was saying.
You must have been on the nice side of Twitter, because I was on my end. It was like, get him the fuck out of here. And I mean that was I had to do a little bit of soul searching myself. We talked about this the other night, Julian, about just like, when it comes to men and mental illness, I think we live in a society where we don't like take it as serious, as compared to women, or like, or anything else that's illness wise, like, a broken leg. We see a broken leg. Oh my God, like get better. When's mental illness? We're like, I don't see it. Like, you're just talking dumb. But I have a personal friend who went through like a phase like that where, he was tweeting or he was Facebooking, making Facebook posts, and it was like just outlandish and just crazy. Anyway, I just told myself I'm not going to, beat up Kanye anymore. Because I was kind of like on that. I'm like, man, get him out of here, especially after the comments about Harriet Tubman. But, now I'm like, what? Like, he is diagnosed bipolar. Like, I need to respect it. He needs to, get help. But like, I also think the people around him need to make sure that they take initiative, because
that's exactly what I was going to say.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, the people around him have to keep him in check, make sure that he's staying on medication, make sure he's not doing crazy things that are, exactly.
I was going to say something like Kim, but you go ahead.
No, I was just going back to the whole bipolar thing. The initial, and tell me if this is the wrong, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Initially, and I'm not saying it's right. Initially, when I first heard about it, I thought, I'm trying to be like, trying to choose my words wisely. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that he's bipolar. So my father's bipolar, right, before he passed. So I know all about bipolar disorder. I know all about it. I didn't believe it. I almost, and guys, stop me if this is like me, it's just the wrong thing to say, but I thought that he was clout chasing. I thought he was doing it for attention, for his album, and just because he is a narcissistic person. That's a fact, right?
Right.
Now, after doing more research, and reading some articles, he has been diagnosed with bipolar. But, those situations in the past, him, he said that wild shit on TMZ, and just,
he's always said wild stuff.
Right. So it's, after you see so many episodes of that, I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's just Kanye being Kanye, and I become desensitized to it. And honestly, I just don't care. I read it, and I'm like, oh, it's just Kanye being Kanye. Is that wrong to think? Like, initially, this is initially what I thought.
That's because that's been our relationship with Kanye for at least over 10 years.
Right. So. And I never thought, and it's not like I wasn't aware of the bipolar thing. People have said it. I just didn't believe it.
Right.
So
right.
I don't even know if I need to apologize for that. I didn't believe it. But hold on. And then I started reading, I read Kim's tweet, or it was on her IG. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I started thinking deeper into it and doing more research. And now I believe it. I don't know why I didn't believe it in the beginning. So
it's okay, like especially at the beginning of it, before like it was talked about more. Like it's easy to be like, oh, he's just, you know,
right.
You don't. It's easy to see how when he earlier you wouldn't believe that.
Yeah, and I guess it's different because I take it personally because when you see someone bipolar, I'm seeing it like every day, all the time. I guess with Kanye, you said this like we were chatting last night on the phone. I don't see him every day. We don't see him every day. So maybe he is having these manic episodes more frequent than we'd think.
Right.
Because we just see it when it's in the news.
Right.
And that's part of the reason why I like, in the beginning, I'm like, man,
right.
This is not real. This is like he's saying this shit to get a reaction.
Right.
And it's just kind of timely with the whole like Donda thing, which hasn't dropped anyway.
Yeah, no, everything's timely. And I just think...
I think that's definitely part of it, too.
I'll stop you right there, actually, with the whole timely thing. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. Do you find it convenient, though, with the whole I'm just asking, the outbursts, but then also Donda? I mean, like...
yeah, it's all convenient. That's why we all feel like the way we feel, and that's why we don't have as much sympathy or empathy for Kanye, because it seems like all these, you know, things happen. Like last year or 2 years ago, whatever, when he was talking about slavery wasn't really a choice, and then he came out saying he was diagnosed bipolar, and then he dropped something. Didn't he drop an album or something came out? That was when he visited Trump, and then he went on TMZ. All this, so it just seems like you can like almost document. I was like thinking about doing homework on this. I'm like, every time there's been like news outbreak when it comes to Kanye, isn't there a project that is literally within a month of that? So that's why I'm like, that's why it's hard to have patience for Kanye. But I want to stop you.
Yeah.
He is diagnosed with bipolar.
Yes, I believe that now. Yeah.
Now the thing is, who needs to take responsibility, right? I think about people like Britney Spears who went through her episodes, like mental illness. Her family, where they were given like power to...
Oh, yeah. They were given conservatorship. It was a 5150,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't see how that has not been able to happen. Like,
I think you have to be proven a threat to yourself or others physically.
Right.
I feel like you can prove that. Like when it comes to...
It needs to
when
be
you
proven,
like
sure.
through words and like... I feel like you can prove it. I don't think...
He hasn't said anything violent.
Man...
I think it has to be a violent...
Here we go.
Like
5150 refers to the California law code for the temporary and voluntary psychiatric commitment of individuals who present... This is it. Who present a danger to themselves or others due to signs of mental illness. He's just saying some wild shit, right?
Yeah, he's not saying anything that would cause harm.
It's been more generally applied to people who are considered threateningly unstable or crazy.
Man, how do you get people like on medication then? Because there's people that need medication, you know, or should be on medication, and they aren't posing a threat.
Right.
Like, you know,
that's difference between just seeking help and having 5150. Right.
So right. Like 5150 is like got to be the damn extreme.
Like this person is going to hurt themselves or hurt someone else. Right. We need to get them in a room and figure out what's happening versus someone who's going through issues and seeks help for it.
Yeah.
Is it?
And that's the other thing too. There's millions of people who suffer from mental illness and don't have the resources to do anything about it.
I was going to say that.
He has all the resources.
That's what I was saying, Julian, last night.
If he wanted to do something about it, he could have already done it.
My empathy level,
or should already be going therapy on medication. He should be around the clock.
Empathy is there,
very bad.
but is it okay to be slightly less empathetic because he has all the resources, all the money? You know what I mean? Like, there's really no excuse. Is it okay to think that? Like,
it's not hard. Bad to think that way. It's not bad to think that way.
My dad didn't have shit, bro. He was taking advantage of the system. So when I see that, initially, I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't know if I really feel that sorry for him.
Yeah, I feel the same way. When Kim was talking, it was like, man, you know, she made a whole Instagram essay, right? But it was just, to me, convenient that, okay, the one time he's tweeting about something about her cheating on him with Meek possibly, you know, that's when she had to drop this essay. I just feel like everyone's got to take responsibility. Her whole family, like his team that has allowed him to set up this campaign, to order to book the venues, then order for him to like have access to the studios. There's a team of people that like support him, and it seems like it's just like yes, because he can't do everything on his own. People have to say yes, right? So I'm just saying, You need to have loved
for
ones
the campaign stuff.
Especially for the campaign stuff. You have to have people around you say, no, Kanye, like you need to be on medication. We are not going to do this. I know he has people in his circle that are just letting him run around and say it because it brings in money, it brings in attention. They benefit off of that. And that includes Kim. And I think because now she's like, oh snap, my image is getting hurt. I'm looking at as if I'm a cheater. Now I'm going to say something about his mental illness, blah, 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 blah. And it's hard to even believe that.
Yeah, he's got good people around, man. You see that video of him? He's in in Wyoming, and it's like 6 dudes. I think his first manager, John Monopoly, and Dave Chappelle, just a group of dudes with him. And it seems like those are the ones that care. See what happens. He's probably doing some of these, like when he announced his bid for the presidential run. He probably wasn't even around like Kim or anybody. You know, he's probably doing this shit like, okay, great, she's not around. You know, he starts getting on his Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she's not with him around him 24/7. Probably. I heard that they're not even like living together right now. I think I read a source. So you know what I mean?
I think all celebrities live like that. So
yeah, they're always traveling and doing things, working.
Yeah, that's how I think about Will and Jada.
Dude, he was in the Bay. Apparently, he flew to the Bay just for like a day or two, and then he flew back to Wyoming.
Yeah, I'm sure they're both busy and stuff like that. I get that. So, but I'm like, to me, friends isn't just like people that. You know, because I don't know. I just don't believe a lot of things like that's on media. So even that includes Twitter, Dave Chappelle coming out to support him. I don't know if they're best friends like that. But to me, a good friend is like telling them the shit they don't want to hear. It's like, yo, you know, you need to cut this out. Like you need to get, you know, help. You need to, you know, stop talking. You need to stop tweeting. Stop focusing so much on trying to make money. I don't know. You need to focus on mental, you know, health.
Helping yourself.
Do you know how someone becomes bipolar? It's usually something very traumatic in their life or something that they can't handle.
That gets triggered because I think bipolar is like genetic.
It's a genetic thing, but like usually there's a stressor involved.
Right, well, something that triggers it.
He
could have got triggered, bro. I think for him mentally and emotionally started going downhill after his mother passed.
Right.
I remember that was like a really significant. I remember when he dropped the album 808 and Heartbreaks. That album changed my life, and actually that inspired me to start writing poetry. But I think that's where you start
see him acting more.
Yep. I think you can document like from that time because his mother was kind of like his compass.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I think that if his mother was alive, I feel like she would have definitely been a huge voice in like keeping him kind of just grounded. You know, now he's kind of, I mean, you can get lost in that kind of lifestyle of rich and, you know, all, you know, different kind of people in your life that want stuff from you. And, you know, ego comes to your head. If you lose that one person,
not just that, but also like expectations, right? Like, you know, more money, more problems. You know what I mean? Like
all that.
His level of, you know,
having someone that's been there for you,
of all these people around him.
Right.
Not to take sideways, but sheesh, man, like Logic was doing an interview with some podcast or something talking about retiring. Dude, I'm sure Kanye is doing the same thing on a much bigger level. Logic takes care of his homies. He actually pays. He has multiple homes paying for his friends. That's just part of what he's done because he's a good ass person. So I gotta think that's Logic. Kanye's on a whole different level. Can you imagine his bills every month?
I would like to see Kanye say that kind of stuff. You know, you know, we're assuming because he's got a lot of money, he's doing that. And I mean, that is nice. You know, they're paying for their friend's house and stuff like that. But I just feel like that lifestyle also puts you in like a level where you have to kind of make that money like consistently. I don't know. I just don't think
he's doing fine financially. I don't think that's the problem. I just think it's about like the whole enabling and just going back to what you're saying, having the right people.
So you're saying because he's paying their bills, they're not gonna want to say.
No. I'm saying financial is not really his issue. I think his issue, he can afford care, he can afford resources. I think it's just about just going back to, you know, what we talked about, just having the right people around him and them taking action. That's it.
Right.
His wife probably needs to stop like tweeting or putting stuff on Instagram and just do it, or take the steps to try to.
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. If we just read the 5150, I don't know how much they can do.
Something, man. Anyway, I don't know.
So.
We don't live with them, not yet.
All we can say is
I don't know.
All we can say is hopefully he gets better and gets help.